The fairy girls completely lost their composure this time. The cause was that a man in Shanghai, during a blind date, put forward 6 non-marriage standards. But in my view, these 6 standards are clearly just basic requirements for a normal person. Let's first take a look at what he actually said. First, he will not marry women who are addicted to smoking, drinking, and clubbing, or who have tattoos on their bodies. Second, he will not marry women who live paycheck to paycheck and still rely on their parents after working for many years. Third, he will not marry women who ask for an outrageously high bride price the moment they open their mouths. Fourth, he will not marry women who treat cats and dogs like ancestors but remain indifferent toward their parents. Fifth, he will not marry women who do not respect elders. Sixth, he will not marry women who have a large number of male best friends and have no sense of boundaries. Some women became so angry after seeing this that they started cursing loudly, saying thank you for not marrying me, and cursing the man to remain single for his entire life. Some others mocked the man and said that you might as well add another requirement, that she must be a virgin. At first, I was also curious. What is there to be so angry about? Later, I figured it out. The key point is not whether these requirements are excessive, but that men actually dared to put forward requirements. Yet these are exactly the kinds of requirements women usually make themselves. Let's first talk about the 6th requirement, because I think it is extremely important. A male best friend is essentially a relationship choice made when 2 people cannot be together and have to settle for the next best option. How much pure friendship can there really be between men and women? Many men complain that their girlfriends often chat with their male best friends and even bring them along when going out to eat. I want to tell everyone that this is not even the biggest danger. Many times, women seek emotional advice from their close friends, and these so-called male best friends obviously want to sleep with the woman. What good advice could they possibly give? Can they evaluate the relationship objectively? Of course not. They will definitely try their hardest to paint the original boyfriend in the worst possible light. How many relationships are ruined simply by the words blown into someone's ear by these friends? Would women allow their own husbands to have many female best friends? Now, let's look at the first requirement. It is not that women are forbidden from smoking or drinking. After all, men also drink and smoke, but rather that no one should be addicted. Addiction destroys both the body and the mind. When men put forward this requirement, it is actually a sign that they want a long-term, responsible relationship. And in their tattoos. Let's switch perspectives for a moment. If a man's body were covered in tattoos of unknown origin, what would women think? Would they think that he has never gotten over his ex? Moreover, women within tattoo circles, when they truly want to choose a partner and form a family, rarely choose heavily tattooed men, because they know very well how chaotic people in that circle can be. In addition, getting tattoos at a very young age actually cuts off many career possibilities, such as entering the public sector system. Women like men who work within the system because their income is stable, their schedule is regular, and their social security benefits are good. Why can't men also like women who work within the system? Now, let's look at the second requirement. Women who have worked for many years but still rely on their parents and live paycheck to paycheck, no matter what profession they are in, can only mean that their income cannot match their spending desires or that they lack financial planning awareness. In such situations, any normal man would ask, "Are you sure you are looking for me to get married and not to pay off your debts?" Life is already difficult for everyone these days. How many people can afford to support someone like that? Besides, would women choose a man who lives paycheck to paycheck and relies on his parents? The third requirement is also something I have always talked about. Absolutely do not give an outrageously high bride price. Because if a woman truly loves you, she will not set up all these conditions to make things difficult for you, and she might even be willing to contribute money herself. It is only when her love for you is insufficient that she will want a large amount of money to make up for the inner emptiness caused by settling for second best. The fourth and fifth requirements are quite similar. Loving cats and dogs is not a problem. I also like small animals. But you cannot treat cats and dogs like ancestors. In reality, many people put the needs of their pets above everything else. When a cat has diarrhea or loses its appetite, they become extremely anxious, seek medical help everywhere, and casually spend thousands of yuan. Yet when their boyfriend catches a cold or their parents feel lonely, they show no concern at all. From an essential perspective, such women have no trust in human nature at all, and may even feel fear or hostility toward it. They believe that no person is reliable, so they would rather build intimate relationships with animals. Such women are actually not suitable for entering marriage. When they're forced to register for marriage, how they will handle their relationship with their husband is quite easy to imagine. And if they're indifferent toward their own parents, there's even less reason to expect them to treat their husbands well. Moreover, the wording used by that Shanghai man was not filial obedience, not blindly complying with elders in everything, but rather filial respect. You do not have to obey everything, but at least maintain basic respect. Is this really excessive? Is it really that difficult? Why do the fairy girls feel so triggered? So my conclusion is that the key point is not what the requirements are, but that in the eyes of some women, how dare you put forward requirements at all? Isn't the dating and marriage market supposed to be a buyer's market where we set the standards at will and are responsible for choosing? The reason men dare to put forward requirements now is also related to changes in the environment. The marriage market is no longer a situation where there are more men than women. In blind date events organized by matchmaking companies in major cities, most of the attendees are women, and very few men show up, even when attendance is free. At matchmaking corners in Shanghai and Chengdu, the gender ratio has at one point reached 1 to 50. China's difficulty in finding wives actually mainly exists in rural towns. Due to industrial factors, these places are more likely to gather men. But many bachelors in rural areas, because the cost of marriage is too high, simply choose to lie flat. Urban men, on the other hand, have completely awakened. They have realized that the long-standing model of interaction between men and women is entirely unfair. From dating to having children, men are almost in an unlimited provider mode. Cars, houses, bride price, and the 3 gold items, not a single one can be missing, and on a daily basis they also have to create surprises and hand over their salaries. But after all this effort, can they obtain any guaranteed security in return? Once men awaken, those who truly panic are women. Because from a biological perspective, women fear aging more and also face greater family pressure and fertility anxiety. Just wait and see. In the future, more and more men will put forward various requirements for choosing a wife.
他们自己一个月也就3、4千的工资，在他们眼里20、30万都不算钱。昨天有个大妈来，她说100万不算多，我说你存100万多少？她说要40多年。我说你真正能劳动40多年，差不多你这辈子也就赚这么多了吧？人做那不吃不喝吧？啊，她说我要存200万，我说那你要下辈子连上一起，哎，再多下一辈子，是吧？一辈子还赚不到200万。3、4千的工资，自己嘛存不到钱。 哎，然后找个冤大头男友是吧？找个月，你知道为什么他们要找工资比自己高的？因为好了，他叫一声亲爱的，他一个月能补贴2、3千给他，知道吧？现在这个还有好多，
有这些女孩子。
我说起步啊，2、3千。那如果说你作为冤大头，你愿意给多那是你的事啊。
2、3千还是最低的。
最低那当然最低啊。
最低
你想想看，月薪3000，一个女的月薪3000，她能一个月花出1万块钱，你告诉我钱哪里来的？
就等于就是包养。
男朋友支持5000吧，是不是？剩下的2000谁支持呢？全狗，叫声哥哥520转账，叫声亲爱的1314转账，4、5个一转不就2000到手了吗？